Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Thank y'all everybody for staying with us through this late hour. I thought that with our stance, or particularly me in particular, my stance on the N word, I know we heard it a whole lot in that clip there and a couple of F-bombs, but I felt it was appropriate given the way we like to run our radio station here. And with it being a special day here at Legacy on Net Radio, we celebrating Rosa Parks and Richard Pryor today. I thought that clip, particularly with how folks gratuitously like to use that word, and him being the most famous user, I figured it'd be nice to listen to him tell you why he stopped using it. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. All right, at this time of the show, we always like to get into our rants and we like to get into our closings. So it's time for my brother and my partner and my friend Big Rube to jump in here and do what we like to call the smash. Big Rube, it's time for you to smash him, brother. What you got?
Oh, man, this is about to be a great one. So every Christmas holiday, you know, everybody puts a tree up and that's cool, and everybody starts putting gifts up, and that's cool, and you know the kids are getting excited. Oh my God, I can't wait! I'm about to get the new toy I wanted for Christmas. Mom and Dad's like, no, you're not. Go to bed. You know, that sort of thing. But you know, this is one thing that just came up that I'm gonna be real with y'all. I think it's the dumbest ever. People do it, and I think it's stupid. But you know, for whatever reason, people just do this stupid thing. They take this little punk doll that looks like an elf, and they put it around the house, and the kids have to find the elf. Now, it's called Elf on the Shelf, and I talked about it last year, and I know back in my old business, we had this long discussion on it because I think it's dumb. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. You know, one of the things I like to say is Facebook doesn't tell me what to do. Neither does Wikipedia. So, what it is, and I apologize to all the people who are not feeling me right now because you're like, Elf on the Shelf, that's the greatest thing ever. That is the dumbest, stupidest thing ever. So what they do is this little skinny 10-pound elf that they'll put around the house. And what happens is, if the kids are being good, the elf will have a present or something for them. However, if the kids are being bad, the elf will do some stupid, repugnant stuff. Such as, you know, as one of my friends said they did with that Elf on the Shelf with their kids last year. Kids being bad today. Mom made some brownies or whatever. Whatever. Well, they woke up into the morning, and there's the brownie pan there. Half of it's gone. And you got the little elf there with a little chocolate on his face, looking like the elf ate half the brownies. Dumbest thing ever. And the elf, as the kids are bad, the elf would just start doing, like, I want to say shit, but dumb shit. Like, for instance, the elf will knock the tree down, and he'll sit on the tree, and the tree's on the ground. And the kid's like, oh my God, the elf knocked the tree down. And I'm just like, this is the dumbest shit ever. And, you know, every day, this elf does something either really, really cool, like, if they're good kids that day, the elf be sitting down and it'll be like a bag of M&Ms or something. Like one, you know, for how many kids or whatever. And the kid's like, yeah, we get M&Ms today. The purpose of it is to keep the kids nice because, you know, back in the day with Santa Claus, you know, he comes to your house whether you're naughty or nice. And you either get coal or you get a whole bunch of cool stuff. Well, this elf comes like 24 days ahead of time. And every day, it's supposed to keep kids in check. Instead of basically, you know, as a parent, hey, you need to stop acting like an idiot. You need to be acting right. You need to do your homework. So if the kid come home, I ain't doing the homework today. or the kid's just a problem, whatever. He gets sent home, didn't eat no dinner. Next thing you know, the elf done mess with their stuff. It is just like, and they hide it around the house. So the kids get up in the morning, where's the elf? Where's the elf? And they go around looking for this damn elf. And depending on how they were, the elf is either good or bad.
So does the elf ever take away Christmas presents from under the tree?
Now, first of all, I don't have kids. And if I did have kids, I would never participate in this buffoonery. I'm just going to put that out there right now. But as far as, present stuff, I don't know. I mean, it's really up to the parents. The parents enjoy this because they like terrorizing their children. Because every parent likes to terrorize their child in some form or another. Uh-huh. So in 2005, some woman created this book. And the book came with a doll. And next thing you know, everybody in the country, I got an elf. It even has a cartoon that it came out later that explains all this dumb shit. And it's just like, come on, man. It kills me because I feel like we're making our kids stupider than they should be, number one. And two, look, if I want to eat half the damn brownies, I'm just going to eat half the damn brownies. I don't need to sit there and put an elf there saying, yo, the elf ate the brownies. I don't got time for that. And what happened to basically, hey kids, you need that good or you ain't getting nothing for Christmas. What happened with that? So basically, and I'm sorry to take up so much time, but I have to explain the stupidity. The story describes how Santa sends his scout elves to hide in people's homes and watch out for the kids. So that's how Santa knows where to bring good stuff or bad stuff. So he sends these elves out to these kids' houses, and they just hang out. And they just watch the kids, make sure they're naughty and nice. First of all, you got somebody bringing it to your damn house. And come on, man, really, you wake up and you see this damn elf staring at you, it will scare the piss out of me. Because think about it this way.
I've never heard of this.
I mean, it's the crazy, and I'm not going to say this statement because I probably should say a statement. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave it alone. But it's like, it's craziness because you've seen all these horror movies about the dolls that kill kids and stuff like that. So you gonna put this punk ass elf in my house? I'm hoping it's not haunted, and go do shit around. Ain't that kind of spooky?
It's gonna be a movie next. What?
Yo, that's spooky, man. That's spooky. And I think the parents, this is funny because we get to do stupid stuff to our kids. Don't you think you doing some irreparable damage to your child? I mean, you're a parent. Marcus J's a parent. I mean, can you imagine the irreparable harm that you would do to your child if this child was bad for like 20 days and this elf did bad stuff every day, and that kid had like 2 presents under the tree, and he or she cried for days because he or she was so bad. The elf was telling him stop being bad, but you had a kid.
Don't cry. Don't be mad now because if you had 24 days to behave yourself and you knew that's what the elf was here for and you didn't do it, don't cry.
So basically you're telling me back in the day when I was a kid, Santa watched you from the 26th of December to the 24th of December of next year. You're trying to say that I can be a badass from December 26th to November 30th, and on the 1st December I got to be great. Then I might get stuff. This is the stupidest thing ever.
That's exactly what it implies. So what do you want the kids to do?
This is so dumb.
Shoot, my mother and father.
So
you didn't behave, you don't get anything.
It's got all these stupid toy awards. It is a stupid elf that's got.
I'm laughing at the elf sitting on the tree that fell down.
Oh man, they do crazy stuff, man. And parents do stuff to their kids, man. Like some parents, I'm sorry. It should be mental abuse. Really? I mean, you come here, like you come home. Like one time, I know one parent's like, yo, what I did to my kid this year? He woke up because he was bad the night before. He was like, 10 or something, had a book bag. All his books were all over the floor and the elf's like in the middle with a pencil. Really? The parent took all the books out the kid's book bag, threw them all over the place, and put the punk ass elf there? Come on, man. See, you find that funny because you're a parent. I think it's bad. I think it's bad for the kid.
Yeah, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this little thing here. I wouldn't do that.
But
I think it's funny.
But it's stupid. It's the stupidest thing ever. And a lot of my old coworkers and friends are like, oh man, that's great. That is the dumbest shit ever.
Oh Christ.
Because if my life for 24 days revolved around a scary elf with a smile that looks like that thing gets up, walks around, and does some shit in the middle of the night, man, you're scaring your kids to be good for 24 days. Why don't you keep this elf around the whole damn year, and then your kids will never be bad. But look, I digress. Once again, I'm talking about this stupid elf because I need to let everybody know, don't do it. This elf on the shelf thing is so bad. You could probably go to a store. I mean, I'm showing SY a picture of the stupid elf right now. Yo, that elf look like he will kill you.
Look at his eyes.
He's got that big smiley face like the Joker, and the eyes all round and wide, and he's like 10 pounds. Yo, he looks like you will wake up and there will be a knife in his hand right above your chest. I ain't got time for this. Parents, elf on the shelf. Don't do it. You're doing more harm to your kids than good. Just be like, yo, kids, if you bad, you ain't getting nothing. It's straight up. And you got to be bad for 365 days, 364 days. Just because Christmas is only one time a year, that don't mean you get to start being terrible. Yo, if you're not, it's cumulative, baby. Do it all. Big roofs to smash. No elf on the shelf. Please, let's get rid of it. You want to stand for something? Get rid of this crap.
You know how Steppin Marcus, Jay. That's why. Ready to tell everybody why you're a grown woman?
You know, y'all, I just feel like sitting the elf on top of my Christmas tree now on the floor. Oh, it's Monday. It is Monday, y'all. I'm having a fun day. I'm still, like I said, feeling the effects of friends and family for Thanksgiving. It was great. And that was great, Rube. But you know what, everybody? It's just that time of the year. All kinds of craziness happens. You know, somebody's going to come up with something and try to torture their kids into getting a present or not getting a present. But just have fun. I mean, you should be happy all throughout the year. But this is the season. Blah, 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 blah. So just be happy. Just have fun in it. Just hug and kiss, and it's just great. Just have fun in it. It's Monday. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see Ruben. I'm happy to see Marcus. Happy that you guys are listening. Posted an Alzheimer's link for you. I really don't know what to tell you all. Just have fun now. It's so much going on to bring you down. Just have fun. I really don't know what to tell you. Just have fun. And I will talk to y'all Monday.
Ain't no half stepping. We're Marcus, Jay. Thank y'all, everybody, for checking in with us tonight. We had a nice show. We had a long show, and a spirited show. But I think we all came away from it feeling a little bit better than we did coming in. And just a quick thank yous. Thank you to Larry and Tony for checking in. Larry here in Richmond and Tony in Jersey City. My sister Melanie up in Chicago. What up, Melanie? Hakeem checked in. K-Dub, Michelle K, and G checked in New Jersey as well. So we appreciate those folks for listening, and they actually checked in. Thank you to everybody who was listening, even if you didn't check in. We appreciate it. We see the numbers, so we know you're out there, and we appreciate it. Thank you to the folks listening to us right now on TuneIn Live, as well as those folks listening to our replays right now on YouTube. We appreciate it. It's because of you guys coming to listen to the flagship show of Legacy Internet Radio every single week. It's the reason why we continue doing this. Quick rundown of the show. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. right here every Monday at 7 p.m. and live in radio on Tuesdays at 7 with Mr. LP and his crew. The Green Room version 2.0 with Jay Grizzy and Lissa P every Wednesday at 7. All Throttle Radio on Thursdays at 7. On Saturdays, we've got Conversations from Your Sisters at 3 with SY and Lissa P. And then, of course, we have Deep House Sessions at 7 o'clock with DJ Renee Melendez, Bob Marley and the Family Reggae Mix all night long, starting at 9 p.m. You may have noticed when I did the rundown for the shows that I omitted Friday because I wanted to give Friday the proper energy. This Friday will be the debut show of our brand new show right here live on Legacy Internet Radio. Every single Friday you can listen to the pregame. Looking forward to it. It's the pregame beginning your weekend, taking you into it, all the information that you got all week and all the information that you need going into the weekend. The pregame live Legacy Internet Radio debut this Friday, December 5th at 8 p.m. until 10. So we appreciate it. At this time of the show, it's time for me to get into my rant, and it's time for me to get into my closing. And I've gotten into the habit of being relatively brief, and of course this week will be no different. I usually end it by saying it had nothing to do with what we are talking about tonight, but tonight kind of want to allude to some of the things that we talked about, or I talked about earlier on. I talked about the race card. I talked about how there are certain things that are perceived by others outside of our community about us. And I just want to kind of say this one last thing before we get out of here. You know, if we are to respect the police officers and we are to assume that they are doing the absolute best that they can with regards to protecting everyone equally, if we are to make that assumption, then I'm going to need for people to also make the same assumption about people of all communities. If your only experience with someone or some community is negative, it stands to reason that your perception of them would be negative. I understand that. But we are all here together. Black folk, we ain't going nowhere. White folk, they ain't going nowhere. And the police are necessary. Because the reality is, if something went down in your house, in your neighborhood, the first thing you're going to do, Mr. I can't stand the police, Mr. F the police, Mr. Cop killing, all that stuff, first thing you're going to do is call the police. The police are necessary. And so when I speak the way I speak about the things that I have seen them do, I'm not coming from a place of hatred. I'm coming from a place of disappointment, and I'm coming from a place of justice and the need to see the treatment of all people, of all communities, of all melanin hues to be treated fairly. And I think that's necessary for us to have any kind of harmony. Do I think that'll ever happen? No, because there's never been harmony in this country. This country wasn't built on the principles of harmony. But I think at some point, if we can come to a place where we understand each other, and if we agree to disagree without being disagreeable, without being nasty and vile and violent towards another person just because they disagree with us, if we can come to that kind of conclusion, even while at the same time not having a whole lot of love in our heart, as long as we can do it without a whole lot of hate in our heart, I think that we'll come to a place where we can be respectful, at least towards each other. I'm afraid for our youth. I'm afraid for my daughter's generation. She's 11, and when I look at the strides that we've made, we've come a long way from when our parents were young. But some of the things that I see going on now and I see projected out in the future is a bit of regression, not progression. And that is very, very disheartening, and it's very, very scary for me, because I'll be honest with you, when I'm an old man, I have no idea what this world is going to look like. And I'm hoping it's not a police state, but when I look at the fact that, when the folks in Katrina, in New Orleans, Katrina had to wait for days and days and days for the National Guard to come in there and give them assistance. But when it went down in Ferguson, the National Guard was there within one day. Where are the priorities? Are the priorities with taking care of the misfortunate and taking care of the people who need the help? Or the priorities with herding them all into some sort of system? Think about that. Because I'm not making that up, and I'm not making numbers up, and I'm not making up the fact that there's a large section of our community, our black community, that feels fearful and persecuted by our police officers who we pay our taxes to protect us and serve us. 21% more likely to be killed by a cop is a black man. That is not made up. Think about that, and think about this. That's my word. my rant that has everything to do with what we talked about tonight. It's the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for listening. Independence is the key to building your legacy. I also want to say peace to all the stars and all of the squares. The abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Those are the words of Bob Marley, who you hear singing in the background. Ain't no half stepping. We're Marcus J. Back right here next week. Peace.